Alright, so I forgot to record it, but we got the flywheel off. This is the eccentric shaft here. The flywheel's on the table over here. It's pretty cool. Get that cleaned up. Use that big socket I got. Here's the nut. We had to hit it with the blowtorch for like 5 minutes. And then use my like full body weight on the end of this plus like a 2-foot breaker bar. So lots of energy going into breaking that loose. But it's off now, so now we can go on with the rest of the teardown and get all this taken apart.
What's good, YouTube? As you can see, this engine dismantling is coming along very well. Stay tuned for the next episode.
Anything to say?
What's up? Check it out. Hopefully the housings are good.
Yeah, that's right. Alright, so right now there's a certain order you gotta unscrew them all in the manual right there. So we're going through an order, breaking them loose, and then leveling them. Once we have them all broken loose, we'll turn this thing upside down, or right side up, I don't know. And then take them all out and take it apart. Alright, so we're getting all these bolts out. They're really in there, like nice and greased in, so they make some fun noises. But once we get those out, we can start taking each of these housings off one by one, see what's going on in there. But all these go just all the way through, and you want to keep them all in order, so you put them back in the same place you got them from. Alright, so we're taking the last bolt out. There's, what was it, 18 in total?
18.
Yeah, that's numero 18. So then this entire top part started leaking oil once we got it all loose, which is interesting. But this entire top section will come off. And then that's the rotor in there, so you want to pay attention to like the side seals or corner seals if they stick to the housing or the iron here. And then there's like coolant seals in there too, which you want to keep track of. So just when you take that off, pay attention.
Oh, it's almost there. Is it going?
I think the key comes out with it, because that's the key's coming out.
Yeah.
So I think we just gotta pull it kind of hard. Ready?
Yeah. Nice. Oh.
Drop.
Gotcha.
There's a clone.
Everything's falling. What was that? Nice.
We're replacing them all anyways, but.
Look at that.
And here is the inside. Look at that.
Nice.
Doesn't look bad. You can see, you heard it drop, but this is a side seal, which sticks on there. So we just want to get that back how it came out.
Yeah, I got
As
it.
with the other ones. But yeah, we'll have to like inspect that, make sure the wear's all in spec, but yeah, it's hard to say, but we'll have to measure it out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So yeah, this is one of the side seals. Might be kind of hard to get back in there, but just leave it there for now, just so we know where it came out of.
It's keyed kind of like this. So you got that smaller bit that can also come out, and then you slide that little circular housing right on top of there.
Yeah.
There's like the little plastic seal that was attached to the that other housing over there.
So it's pretty cool on the inside here. These are the corner seals, these circular guys. The apex seals are these bars that are, they go along the tips of it. And the side seals that go here. And it's cool, you can feel like the side seals, they have some spring to them, which is what you want to make sure they have. That's what pushes it against the irons to, seal it. So that's why each of these seals has a spring attached to it, or two, some of them. So lots of tiny little parts that can break, but it's fine.
Yeah, and that's why rotary's kind of stuck.
Suck!
Look at the holy Dorito.
I know, it looks so cool though.
It's
look at that.
sick.
Awesome.
That's what
That's
makes
sick.
that's what makes the horsepower.
They look awesome. There's the plugs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Plug.
Plug. All right, so he's fishing for seals. But here she is. Look at that.
There's the engine.
Got one part over there with a bunch of those, all 18 of them.
That's right. So we got this is the rear rotor, which we took out first. Front rotor, which we took out second.
Much more organized on this one.
A little, yeah. But I know I said to keep track of everything and take it out and have it all labeled, but I didn't. We're replacing every seal anyways. We at least have what goes with which rotor. So yeah, most of this is gonna get replaced, so we're not too worried about keeping it where it came out of. But it's organized enough, I guess. And we got all the housings and the irons. That one over there. This is the main shaft.
It's perfect. Main shaft right here.
Next steps is just cleaning everything, getting it all polished, making sure everything's in spec, just measuring everything that can be measured just to know if we want to use it again. And then after we do that, get some new seals, put it all back together, put it back in the car, and then it'll be driving. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm kind of jumping all over the place recording here, but we've got everything out, as you've probably seen. So right now I'm just working on like disassembling the rotors. Like I said previously, you want to keep all this in order, but I'm replacing everything anyways. And like the first rotor I took out, pieces fell everywhere, so I kind of gave up past that point. But, you know, be smart about it when you're doing it. But like I said, I'm replacing everything, so I don't really care. But this is everything that is in each of these rotors. So there are, on each side, 3 side seals, 3 side seal springs, 3 corner seals. There are 2 oil control rings, an inner one and an outer one. Each of those have their own springs that go with them. And same thing on the other side, just the exact same stuff. There's differences between the springs and the oil control rings on each of these, which I'll have to double check in the manual what those differences are. But like I said, I'm replacing everything anyways, so I'm just going to do it from scratch. Then for the Apex seals, these are 3-piece seals, which I'm pretty sure are just what is stock from Mazda. Lots of places sell the 2-piece seals, so like these 2 long pieces would just be 1 piece. I was looking it up. There's benefit to this with just sealing, having these separate so they can kind of like shift but still seal. But it seems like a lot of the industry just makes 2-piece ones, so it's probably not that big of a deal. And then each Apex seal has one of these big springs and one of the small springs. They're kind of nested together. It's really hard to see because it's really tiny, but there's little grooves on the ends of these. You can see it's kind of like the shadows in the way. That it's like stepped on the end there. And those springs sit inside like those steps there. Getting all of the Apex seals out and all the springs is pretty straightforward. Everything kind of just falls out and just kind of goes where you think it'd go. The side seal springs are very tiny. I just used one of the side seals to kind of scoop those out. So you get those out. When I took it apart, these inner oil control rings came out real easy. They're kind of just pressed in there. For the outer ones, what I did is I took a flathead screwdriver. There's an actual tool for it, but I don't have it. Just real gently got up underneath it and kind of, it's really hard to do with one hand. Just kind of pried just real lightly. Yeah, I need kind of 2 hands so I can actually hold it, but you can see, you can kind of just get under the lip there and then kind of pry it out and then just do that around so you're not like twisting anything too much. And then there's springs underneath there. I did lose one of the corner pieces for one of my seals. I'm going to keep looking for that. It probably fell on the floor somewhere here, which is very annoying because I know I'm replacing these anyways, but it'd be nice to have like a backup. So I'm going to keep looking for that. Hopefully I can find it, but if not, I guess it's not the end of the world. So yeah, here is the other rotor with everything out of it too. So pretty much everything's disassembled except for some small engine stuff, which this video probably is long enough. I don't know, I haven't edited anything yet. But there's this plate on here with some bolts. There is a bearing inside, one of those neat little disc looking ones, which is fun. So we got that on there. There are dowels in some of these housings here. Something to keep in mind. And then you got the oil filter stands, oil pressure meter, just some other small stuff like these plates that I might not necessarily have to take off. But these dowels that I want to take out and measure, make sure they're all good. And then on the back here, there is the rear main seal that is held on with some bolts as well. That's the rear main seal in there. So all that stuff is all in the service manual on how to take it out, how to inspect it. So what I'm going to do is, now that I've got everything out, I'm probably going to go through, take all these little pieces off, label them, make sure I don't lose them. And then I'm just going to get to cleaning. I'll probably make the next episode in the series all just about the cleaning and measuring process, because these guys are pretty dirty, especially these rotors. Looks like that's usually the dirtiest part in terms of like carbon buildup. So now that everything's mostly disassembled, like I said, I'll get to these little bits here later. Next video I make, I'm going to clean all this stuff, then I'm going to make sure it is all within spec according to the service manual. And then once I do that, I'll be able to order the parts because I'll know what I need. Next video is going to be cleaning stuff off and making sure it's all measured right. Video after that's probably going to be reinstalling everything and putting it back together. So only 2 more videos and then we'll have that. Then the video after that's probably going to be getting it back in the car with the transmission and everything. So there's a little road map of what you can expect. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on all that super fun stuff. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.